Beetroots really are one of the easiest things to grow from seed, and you will succeed even if you're a total beginner gardener. They're like radishes. You can just direct sow them into the ground, or you can sow them to a gutter pipe, which is what we tend to do, but you just want a fine tilth, and then you just transplant them out or direct sow them quite densely packed, and then you can thin them and eat your thinnings. But basically you just don't want to start harvesting at the end of the row and just carry on willy-nilly, because you'll get lots of different sizes in one row. So just go back to your patch again and again, removing the bigger ones. But apart from that, they don't really need much water. They just don't need any TLC. They just get on and grow themselves. And you can sow them any time really between April in the garden, and the last sowing I do is probably about mid-July, and then I'll be picking them and harvesting them right the way through almost until Christmas. Beetroot are really good in July. We sowed these in sort of late spring, and we actually sowed them into gutter pipes and then transplanted them straight to here. And I love beetroot in 3 colours, and that's what makes it look more fun on the plate. And also I make drinks and things out of beetroot as well, so it's lovely having the 3 different colours. So this is a variety called Chioggia, or candy stripe, and when you cut into it you'll see it's stripy, the flesh, pink and white, and you can see that from the stem there. Now when you're harvesting beetroot, you want to just go through your patch and have a little rummage, and you'll find the bigger ones are starting to push themselves slightly out of the ground, so you should be able to see the ones that are ready to harvest. So you don't want to start at the beginning of the row and just harvest down the row, because you will then end up taking really small ones out, which are a bit of a waste unless you want baby beetroot. So you really want to pick them when they're about that size, then they're really tender, but they're not too small, so you're not wasting them. So I'm just going, there's another big one there. I'll just get a couple more of the pinky coloured one. There's another nice one there. And just one more, I think will be plenty. There, that's another good one there. Oh yeah, that's almost getting too big, but that's still fine. So 5 of those. And then these are not quite as big, but again, I can just have a rummage. And this one is the beautiful Burpee's Golden, and that you can see is a lovely orange colour. There's another one. And another. And you can just tell, because they just push themselves a bit higher than the rest, and then you know that they've got to a good size. So I've got 5 of those. And then finally I'm going to move on to the Boltardy, which are the purple. That's a nice one. Oh, that's a bit small, you see, so that's a little bit smaller. Let's try and find a better one of those. That's interesting, these are definitely sown at the same time but slower. What I would always do is wash them here with a tap in the garden into a bucket, and then just chuck the bucket with the soil onto the garden, rather than bringing all the soil into the sink, so that you then block your drains, and then the soil just returns straight to the garden, and that's much easier and you don't waste it. But actually these have got almost no soil on them because it's been so dry. But when it gets wetter in the autumn, you'll find that they're a bit muckier, and that's a good thing to do. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use the green as well as the root in the recipe, and I'm just going to wilt the green down and use it almost like spinach, and I'm going to boil the roots for about 30 minutes until they're soft, and then I'm going to dress them in a yoghurt and tahini dressing with a bit of hazelnut toasted over the top.